Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and today we're going to mix it up. We're going to do a Q&A video. Alright, so I put this out on Twitter, not even Twitter, like who uses Twitter? I put this out on Instagram, Facebook and Snapchat. Send me some questions, they can be about anything and I'll reply. And for the first hour I actually crapped my pants because barely anyone replied, or they wanted to know what was my favourite crisps. But then after a few hours it brewed a little bit longer and I got some good questions. So I'm just going to crack open a can because, to be quite honest, I'm absolutely wrecked. I have the flu or something and I just have no energy. So going to do this because there's a right few questions, and let's get cracking at the Q&A. So, forgot to take the phone out. There I was going to answer all your questions and I didn't even have the questions in front of me, sure. So question one is a Rayleigh grab possible? Absolutely. Probably some of the most coolest looking photoist ever that I've ever seen. That was terrible English. Sorry. Probably some of the coolest photos I've ever seen have been Rayleigh's. One of my favourites actually, Maxim Van Helfer. I'll put it here on the side somewhere. I don't know. I need to figure that out in editing. Check it out. It's sick. So yes, you can grab a Rayleigh. Question number two is, what trick should I learn before I learn the complicated ones? I guess it depends what your opinion of a complicated one is. I'm going to go and say a complicated trick is an invert, like a flip or a spin. It's like a back row or a 360. A trick to learn before that is the basics. Like, the basics are so key. Go out, get your wake to wake, get your 180s, get your grabs, and then you'll be flying. And the second you go and try the harder tricks, it'll all stand to you, I promise. Would you ever try a triple flip? Well, I wouldn't not try a triple flip. Well, I would. Yeah, I would try a triple flip, but I'm not going to try it like today or tomorrow because I can't even actually do a double flip, to be quite honest. I've been close, but I can't actually do one. I think Cody Hess landed it a while ago and it was sick. So yeah, 100%, maybe in 2 years down the line I'll try a triple flip, sorry. Gonna learn a double flip over the winter though. Can you explain how to jump start on the boat? Yeah, so basically it's all about communication and like cooperation between the driver and the rider. You want to taxi out, get the rope tight, like get the tension in it, and just as it goes tight, then you want to jump forward, but at the same time the boat driver is going to jump forward. The boat's not going to jump forward, the boat driver's going to give it welly on the old throttle. It's basically trial and error for the first while, and then once you get into it, then after a while you'll just figure it out, and then it's like second nature. Alright, some questions that I'm just going to boost through is probably some less important tier questions. I'm terrible at English. How big is your engine in your boat? 5.7 litres, 330 horsepower, meaty. How fast does your boat go? Top speed about 52, 53 kilometers an hour. How fast do you ride? I ride at 38.5 kilometers an hour, to be precise. How deep is your lake? 45 foot. What size board do you ride? I ride a 137 small, but sure, I'm only about 6'4", so, or 6'5", you know, so a small board look. How many rockers does it have? My board has 5 rockers for say. Basically, it has flex, tip and tail, and then 3 solid ones. And it makes the landings, that little bit of flex makes the landings so much softer without having to ride a sacrilegious flex board on the boat look. If I use the same board, will I automatically be awesome? Yes. Do you like wake surfing? I don't not like wake surfing. Personally, it's not my favourite pastime. If I'm going to go out on a boat, I'd rather wakeboard. But I think it's cool. I spoke to some boat dealers and they say wake surfing boats is what's selling, and that is cool. So as long as people are on the water having a good time, then yes, I do like it. So wake surfing gets an old thumbs up for me. What's your favourite trick? My favourite trick is a switch heelside 360 with like a little grab on it, or sometimes land it inside raft. I just really like it, like, and it just feels good, so it's my favourite trick. Can you do a Superman? Damn right I can do a Superman. Check out that beast right there. I did say ask me anything, and you asked me anything, so here we go. What's your favourite colour? Grey. Chicken satay or chicken curry? Chicken satay all day. Can you put Roundtree sweets in your mouth without chewing them? Can you eat a sugar donut without licking your lips? Favourite vegetable? Broccoli or peppers, green to be precise. Snickers or Mars? I hate nuts, so I'm going to go with Mars. What kind of pizza do you like? I'm a pepperoni pizza type of person, do you know yourself? Like, will you marry me? What do you drink on a night out? Guinness. On a night out, you have to go for stout. Pokemon or Super Mario? I honestly was never into that sort of stuff. Like, I was more like, I guess I was just doing fun stuff instead of sitting in front of a TV. So neither. Jammy Dodgers or Jaffa Cakes? Jaffa Cakes, obviously. Who in their right mind would choose Jammy Dodgers? Are they mad? Tea or coffee, and which biscuits out of the Jammy Dodgers or Jaffa Cakes would you have with that? I obviously would go for coffee. I'm not really much of a tea person, to be quite honest, which is unusual for an Irish person, but I just don't really like it. And then obviously Jaffa Cakes. Tato or King? Tato. Cheese and onion as well. How do we get our weather to be as good as Extreme Gene? You just do, like, it just, like, look at today. Like, today is September in Ireland and it's glorious. It's about 16 degrees, like. So back to some more serious questions. Why don't you do a couple weeks coaching clinic out at Extreme Gene? I'm sure Andreas would be up for it. I'm sure he would too, and I actually would love to do that. One of the things that's annoyed me so much this year is I haven't actually got to spend enough time in Extreme Gene in Spain. It's unbelievable. So next year actually I want to do a big filming, like a big edit there, so maybe I could tie in some coaching clinics into that. So let's make it happen. What course were you doing in college? I was doing arts, which is basically you pick two subjects and you go with it. It's not actually drawing, like I'd be terrible at that, like woeful. So I was doing economics and French. I loved economics actually, found it really interesting, even though I'm not that good at maths. French was woeful, like the most worst course ever. Like, never ever do a language in college, is my opinion. It was just an obvious choice for me because I speak fluent French. Fun fact, actually, I lived in France for a little while and I went to a French school for 11 years. So it was just an obvious choice. In hindsight, I regretted it. One thing I would say is, if the opportunity is there for you to move away from home for college, 100% do it. Like, I reckon if I'd gone down the west to Galway or something, I probably would have stuck with it. My mum's probably going to kill me when she hears this, but anyway, I just think you have more of a college experience than living at home and just going in every day. What would you be doing if you weren't a wakeboarder? I'd probably be a French economist. What's your opinion on wakeboarding behind a jet ski? I'm all for it. Like, my opinion is definitely do it. Like, if you have a choice to sit at home and just watch wakeboarding on your computer, or go out behind a jet ski and wakeboard, pick the jet ski every time. Like, yeah, the wake's small, but you can still do surface tricks and have just a good time out in the water with your friends. So 100% do it. Open toe or closed toe, would it make a difference for an intermediate rider? I think Bob Sylvan actually still rides open toe. Most people don't. I tell you what, it's basically like an iPhone. This iPhone 6 is so much better than the original iPhone 3. But it doesn't mean that the iPhone 3 didn't work and didn't have internet and didn't have stuff. Like, you could still do a lot, just technology gets better. Think about it, Parks Bonifay did a 1080 and a double flip in open toe boots, so it's not that important. Plus, if you live in Ireland, it's kind of like a no-brainer. The closed toe will keep you warm. What's your setup with your fat sacks? That's a fantastic question. And I'm actually probably going to do a video on that altogether, because it's far too much to just put into a Q&A. But basically, every boat's different. How old were you when you first got sponsored, and how did the brand / company recognize you? My first ever sponsor of like free gear and stuff was the Edge Water Sports Warehouse, which I'm still sponsored by. Then when I was about 16, 17, I was over in America and I was doing some wakeboarding at OWC, and Kobe Mikasic, like wakeboard legend, like, he basically had seen me riding for a while and he was like, I'd love to have you on our team, because he's the O'Brien team manager. So ended up speaking with him, and then I ended up getting on the factory team, and they were the first people to ever pay me to wakeboard. They could see that I was driven. I was at the cable or at the boat every single day wakeboarding, and they could see that I really liked it, and that was it. That's how you get recognised, not for necessarily how good you are, but the drive you have and the passion for it, and that is really what it was, I think. What's your favourite boat to ride? Once I'm on riding a boat, I'm happy. Obviously, like, some boats are better than others. All the new ones, the big wakes, like, they're just phenomenal. I'm not going to answer the question because who knows, like, some sponsor could be watching this and I could answer the wrong answer, so I'll keep that to myself. What's the secret to getting major pop on a wake jump? I'll tell you, the two key components are a progressive edge and standing up tall. But actually, in this video here, Mastering the Basics, I talk about how to get the perfect pop on a wake jump. So have a look at that, and hopefully that should answer all your questions. But if not, feel free to drop a message into my Facebook inbox and I can help you out with it. What is the meaning of life? Wakeboarding. Are gloves worth it? No, I wouldn't wear them, and I'll tell you why. The gloves will actually rip your handle to shreds now, because new handles are designed with softer fabric, so basically it's more comfortable. Is having an old wakeboard from 2005 a bad idea? New boards they're more responsive, they're lighter, they're just better. Like, technology has advanced since 2005. I mean, this is 10 years. New boards come out this weekend. It's 11 years later. No, I don't believe that it's not a bad idea. A new one's better, so like if you have a bit of cash lying around, 100% go and get one, but like don't take out a loan to get one, you know what I mean? Like, G25 or XStar? Both. Do you do training off the water, and if so, what type of exercise? The exercise that I will recommend, like off the water, is the trampoline. Like, oh my god, I spent hours on end on my trampoline, and I can see it in the young kids, the ones who are going to be the best. They're the ones who come home from school and they go on their trampoline. Like, your aerial awareness just goes through the roof. How do you go about looking for sponsorship, and how do you know if you're ready to do so? A fantastic question, and again, I'd actually love to do another video on this altogether of how to get sponsored. And I'm guilty of this, everyone is, we're guilty of believing that sponsorship is us receiving free stuff, but that's not true. What it's about, right? You are basically becoming a sales rep or a marketer for that brand, and you are trying to create money. They're trying to get a return on their investment. So if they're going to give you free stuff, you have to be worth something to them. You have to have a following, or you have to be doing well in competitions. Or honestly, if you were just going up to events and you're infectious, you're just there, you're having a good time, you're motivating people, and people are looking up to you like a role model as such, then you are worth sponsoring. If you're ever talking to a brand at a contest or something, just have a CV ready. So if they're like, oh yeah, send us all your stuff, send it that night. Don't go home and wait to do it the next morning. Like, send it that night. You have to be professional. That's what you're trying to do. Sponsorship makes you a professional athlete. So you want to act professional as if it's your job. Again though, I will do a video on this because I actually think the business side of wakeboarding is so key. What is your favourite edit of this year? Mike Dowdy's Real Wake. The reason I liked his is not because of the 1260, which is why everyone liked it. I liked it because he had just come back from an insane injury. He tore his whole knee open, like he absolutely banjaxed himself. And he could have X-factored us. He could have sob-storied it and people would have loved it. But instead what he did was he went out and he let the riding speak for it, and it actually motivated me to want to go and film an all-riding edit. I can do a tantrum consistently, but now every time I try go big, the rope hits the board. Any tips for stopping this? So probably what's happening is you're probably not squaring up enough of the wake. The reason it's happening when you're going bigger is because when you go bigger, it basically exaggerates your problems. So just give it a lash, it's squaring up a bit more, and that should be your problem solved. How many hats do you have? I have about 60 to 70 hats. It's a whole lot of hats. How many sponsors do you have? I've never been asked it that way. I think 5 or 6. Monster, Nissan, O'Brien, Thongs, Edgewater Sports, and Extreme Dream. Yeah, 6 sponsors. So shout out to all them actually. And last but not least, what are you doing for the rest of 2015? On the water, competition wise, I have 2 more major events. I have World Cup in China at the end of this month, and then I have World Championships in Mexico at the end of October. YouTube wise, which this wasn't even in my life, like what, 2.5, 3 months ago. I'm gonna just keep doing these how-to videos. It's crazy, like I've never got so much engagement. Like all those messages you guys send me is crazy. So I'm definitely gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna try and set up some sort of platform so I can do some online coaching. Media wise, I'm not sure if you know, but I have like this TV series coming out called Off the Dock. It's going on to Tanta Sports Ireland, which is a TV station in Ireland. It's basically like a reality TV show following around some of the stuff we did earlier in the summer. It's not really for like wakeboarding, it's more based on like the lifestyle and stuff. So that comes out in October, and it's going to be 3 or 4 episodes. We're just figuring that out at the moment. And I guess that's really it. Like, and then I'm just gonna continue having a good time, just enjoying every bit of it and traveling, and then yeah, that's it. Then next year's a whole new year, new goals, new everything, and we'll just see how it happens, and yeah, that's it really. Yeah, just thank you for watching it. If you've made it this far, a long old Q&A, so fair play. And next week I'm going to do a how-to scarecrow. It'll be from the United States of America, so it'll be pretty cool. And yeah, thanks for watching, for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, for doing everything. So even ask any more questions you have below. I'll do my best to answer them. And thank you so much for watching, guys, and peace out.